We're definitely not starting a round back today. Hey, internets, it's Jake from Mini Terrain Domain, and this is Belak the Malevolent, Dawnbringers, Rime of the Frostmaiden, Season 5, Episode 21, part of our ongoing Dawnbringers campaign happening every Thursday night at 8:30 p.m. Eastern, right here on twitch.tv/Mini Terrain Domain. And these are my dungeon children. That sounds terrible. Let me rephrase that. It kind of worked out in my head, and then it just took a wrong turn.
We're back to that, aren't we?
We are so glad to be back. We took a week off for the Jasper's Game Day fundraiser. Some of us had a little too much fun last Thursday on the what we're calling the Songbringers, or well, let's just say it was all butt jokes. It really was. Be sure to check out the VOD here on Twitch.
Look, you go with your strengths.
But we are glad to be here. Yeah. I thought Jeremy was going to be the one to point that out. So we are back with the Dawnbringers, and as we mentioned previously, M will not be with us as Fig for the summer due to pursuing real-life adventures in their career in the Great White North, and we are super proud and excited for all the wonderful things that they are doing. So in the meantime, I have invited everybody's favorite Goblin Katie, to join us. You'll notice there is no character information next to Goblin Katie's window. We will reveal that when the time becomes appropriate. If ever there is such a thing as appropriate when involving Goblin Katie.
And the two of us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's just a full house here.
You just threw kerosene on it.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Dad, what have you done?
You've given me fodder.
Who wants to ring cell tonight?
Kids, we have a new member of the family. It's like Cantriel. Times 2.
I don't know about that.
I feel like it's an exponential growth. I feel like it's Cantriel to the second power. But also times Goblin Katie's as yet unnamed character too. Because I'll just say this: when we went over yesterday, when Goblin Katie and I got together to hatch our plans on how we were going to reveal this character, and I said, "Tell me about your character." She did so in character, and it was absolutely amazing. So you will get to meet this character in just a few moments. Welcome, everyone. I'm expecting that there's probably some new people here with us in the chat. Thank you, Big Bearded Nerd, for the raid. I will assign domain dice and explain those in just a moment. But if you're new here, welcome. We're going to go over a couple of super quick announcements, and then we're going to get into some Dungeons and Dragons. So first off, I just want to draw your attention down below. You'll see a series of partner graphics, Jasper's Game Day, Initiative Coffee Company. You can check them out in tiles down below on Twitch. Get all the information you need. Plus, we will be having some timed announcements that show up in the chat with direct links on how you can support Jasper's either directly or through the coffee. Do check out Talon and Claw, who still, I believe they still have their dice not giveaway, opposite of a giveaway, their Kickstarter, their dice Kickstarter going on right now for Gemstone Dice. You can type in !MTD Claw, and you'll get a link to the Talon and Claw Etsy store, but do also check them out on Kickstarter for their, as I said, their Gemstone Dice Kickstarter going on right now. But in their Etsy store, you can use code MTD Claw when you check out to get 10% off any of these awesome dice accessories that they have available. And they are absolutely incredible. Domain dice. We have a thing here. If you look up directly above V's head, up in the upper right-hand corner, you will see 135 domain dice. I actually need to go in and change that because we have a raid and we have 2 more subscriptions. So I owe you 3 domain dice. That means you have 138 domain dice at your disposal. The way the domain dice work is it is a way that you, the viewers, can have an impact on the game simply by tipping $5, cheering 500 bits, subs, gift subs, resubs, raids, all of that wonderful stuff earns them domain dice that they can use for re-rolling dice rolls. 2 dice and they can make me re-roll a dice roll. 3 domain dice gets them access to hit dice outside of a short rest. 4 domain dice will turn a failed death saving throw into a successful one. Unless it's a critical failure, it'll take 8 domain dice. And finally, 5 domain dice, the patron's blessing, turned any hit into a super crit that is an automatic max double damage. Or double max damage, I should say, on that hit. And we have seen some epic uses of those in the past. One last thing I want to talk about real quick before we get into the game itself. Here at MTD, we value mental health and the destigmatization of discussions around mental health. I am very open and honest about my own struggles with anxiety, depression, and things like that, and the fact that I sought help. And it has been just an immense relief over the last year plus. We do encourage you, first of all, it's okay to not be okay, but you need to know that you are not alone. There is help available out there and that you matter. You can come here to our chat at MTD any time of day or night, whether we are streaming or not, and you can type !help in the chat. And some phone numbers and text numbers and a hyperlink will come up. You can call those numbers. You can text those numbers, or you can go to the website. No matter where you are in the world, there is a helpline that is available to you nearby. And we encourage you to please absolutely use those resources if you are in need of help, because you matter. With that, we are going to play some Dungeons and Dragons. Are you all ready?
Yeah.
We are going to do a little bit of a recap here. So, recently, the Dawnbringers had made their way to the Spine of the World Mountains, south of Icewind Dale, on the southern edge. A few days' journey through the rough tundra terrain with their dog sleds. They got a little sidetracked and had to take a few more days' travel, but eventually made it. They discovered within Sunblight that there were some kobolds in there. In fact, some of them recognized at least one of the kobolds, Yurstrael, from the Sunless Citadel back in Oakhurst. And they've learned that some of the kobolds have come north with Vi, who has been working with the Chardalyn to resurrect her brother in his corrupted form as a Chardalyn dragon, a very malevolent construct in the shape of a dragon powered by these dark crystals that have very powerful energies, as Fig and Thorgarn have discovered. They get into your mind, and they begin to corrupt your thoughts. And as they were exploring around this area and figuring out how they were going to deal with this, they found a map room that outlined the path that the dragon would be taking. Whether by coincidence or by design, activating the mechanical table that showed the path of the dragon caused a rumble in the castle, and there was a great, tremendous Nope, that's not. Don't use those words with these guys, Jake. Pick different words. There was a very large sound that came from above. They ran outside in time to see the dragon take flight, taking their chances. Using his helm of teleportation, Drown teleported the Dawnbringers to Dugan's Hole, the nearest town, and first in the path of the dragon. They arrived with enough time to warn the townspeaker and the leader of the militia to get everybody out of town. There's some roughly 50 residents in Dugan's Hole, and they all made it out. As they waited and prepared themselves with whatever spells they had at the ready, they watched as the form of the dragon came cruising across the frozen lake, and as it reached them, it let out a tremendous blast of radiant breath energy, destroying the boats in the dock in front of them. As it passed overhead, it exuded this malevolent energy that all but Talmud were able to resist. A shadow passes over Talmud's visage, and 2 pinpoints of light, like the firelight deep within a furnace, have ignited within his eyes as the dragon curves up above Dugan's Hole to the north of it in a great spiraling turn and is barreling down upon you, Dawnbringers. I need you all to roll for initiative. Katie, we're going to go ahead and have you roll. And Goblin Katie and I have already discussed how this is going to work out. So we'll see what happens there.
Jake, don't forget Cantriel would have been summoning her draconic spirit.
What does your draconic spirit, how does that manifest?
It starts off at first with, it looks like she's about to use her breath weapon, but instead of in actual fire, it's this fiery like mist that starts to seep out of her nostrils and her mouth, and it shoots forward and it begins to collect and swirl and pull into the form of a dragon, and then it starts to become more solid in appearance as it goes from these yellow oranges into richer blood tone reds and ruby reds. And in the space nearby is basically a form of what looks like a Chardalyn, except there's a very thick collar banded around its neck. So it's a red chromatic.
And that is the draconic spirit.
5th level.
Okay. So that will... Yeah, that will go on your turn.
Okay.
So yeah, wherever you are in the initiative order, you will be a part of that. I don't know what's going on in chat. There's apparently a hype train going on, so that's cool. Awesome. Keep them coming. You're up to 140 domain dice. Let's go ahead and get those initiatives. Let's start with Thorgarn. What'd you get?
I rolled a, typical for Thorgarn, so I have a total of 5.
Perfect. Cantriel.
I got a dirty 20.
All right.
Also pretty typical for Cantriel.
Right.
So.
Talmud.
The funny thing is you guys rolled the same number. I have a 21.
Drown.
I have a 15.
All right. Goblin Katie.
A gentlewoman's 7.
A gentlewoman's 7. Also, as a reminder, in case everybody forgot, Hermes and all 6 of your sled dogs and your sleds are back at the base of the mountain at the spine of the world, about 2 days north of you. I'm going to roll for Belak. Get that initiative. And then you do have with you Baron. Okay. Respectable. Okay, Talmud, you are going to start things off. It is not the Chardalyn dragon that is that you have eyes for. You have eyes for another.
Only have eyes for drown, apparently. Yeah, so I think Talmud is kind of racked with this fear, and immediately his tattoos start to glow up his arm, that kind of pale blue light, and then up his chest and across his face as a spectral face comes out, kind of twisted and distorted to mask his own. And he rounds, pulling Gerta Brilne out in front of him, and then kind of starts to leap across the distance between him and Drown. I'm gonna get the big guy. I'm gonna get that big guy. And he's gonna bring the pain. I'm attacking recklessly.
Oh no. Oh, wait.
That's a 20. No, 32.
That'll hit. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. It wasn't a 20 though.
So you all watch. You all watch as
Gosh,
Talmud
that's
just
good.
goes rushing Drown.
Okay. Ooh. Okay. That's not terrible. 4, 8, 3, 15 points of bludgeoning.
Cool. All right. So you slam the hammer into Drown, cracking the frozen, spiky, dark seawater, covering his tattoos and his shoulders and his coat. And there is a detonation and a spray of ice shards, and you take 25 cold damage.
Which I believe you're resistant to.
I am, because of the boots. So 13.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. And then there's the second attack. Okay, that's 29.
Yeah, it's
Yeah. Okay. It's 22
It's a near
points
miss,
this
though,
time.
right? Right, Drown?
huh?
I was making a joke because it's a near miss. Close.
Yeah. Almost got out of the way. Sorry, how much damage?
It was 22 that time.
Shit. Damn, man. All right.
Yeah.
That one, I
Yeah.
think I'll just, oh God, that's 12 points of real damage. I don't like that. All right, we'll do it. And another 25 points of cold damage.
All right, is that your turn, Talmud?
Yes, I think I've done enough.
I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh God, this is gonna be a long road to home. I'm gonna use a domain die.
Pretend it's initiative and roll high.
No kidding, right? Well, that's a 7 total. That's
Drown,
best of 2 rolls.
as Talmud
Delightful.
suddenly comes at you and just starts wailing into you with this legendary magical weapon. You see that what at first you just take as that gleam of rage in his eye, in his eyes. You actually see the fire that is there in his pupils intensify as you are still under this effect, Talmud. Next up, Cantriel, you are up, Drown, you're on deck.
Okay. Cantriel is going to be seeing what's going on between Talmud and Drown. And Jake, I'm sorry. This is a meta question. Did we determine if it was lesser restoration that would jump the Chardalyn effect? Because we had talked about it. I don't know if we decided on it.
I bet you have to go up to something that'll remove charmed.
Yeah, I think it was a
Mm,
greater
so it's okay.
restoration. I don't believe it was
Greater
a lesser
restoration. Okay.
restoration.
I don't actually remember how this thing works, but I'm guessing if you can get rid of charmed, then he'll be good.
Okay. It's a no. Oh wait, he'd be charmed
I think I'm just guessing.
because I could counter charm.
Bard's doing bard things.
I would say
What's that?
I would say before you can do that, you would need to make an insight check to determine if you can really tell for sure what's going on.
Okay, then she's gonna,
Talmud.
narrow her eyes and look at Talmud and see if she can figure out what's happening.
Because he can't. He just reeled on Drown out of nowhere.
Okay, suspicion is raised, and big ugly thing, which has her dragon up too. So she's gonna try and figure out what's happening with the barbarian in the group, because that's friend, not foe. That's going to be a 16.
Yeah, you get a good look at Talmud, and you've seen by now. You've seen variations of his ancestors coming forth, and it is this is more than that. There's a legitimate fire of magical fire seems to be burning in his eyes. Talmud is not himself.
Okay. And that's my action for her, correct?
The insight?
No, the insight's
Yeah,
not an action. No.
Okay, just want to make sure. Then Jesus Christ, man. You just had to. I'm kidding. Then she is going to Bane Talmud. Yep. She's going to toss Bane at Talmud to kind of take the whammies out of his hits.
Okay.
Oh, wait, no, I can't because that's concentration, and so is Dargo. I got to use this new Dargo. So I'm not going to be doing that. Screw it. I'm just going to...
Can you counter charm? Will that help?
Well, I mean, can I count? Yeah, if I can
counter charm doesn't end. You're talking about your bardic ability, right?
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't end a charming effect. You start playing music, and it gives advantage on saving throws against being frightened and being charmed.
Then he's gaining advantage for next time.
Right. So you would basically, however you choose to manifest this, that you could start doing that as your action, that you are singing this song or whatever, and that counter charm would give him.
She's doing that then. She's going to be singing the Dawnbringer song.
Yeah, let me just double. Wait, where did they go?
You can command your Dargo as a bonus action, right?
Yeah, it's basically I can just tell it what to do. It doesn't. It takes its turn immediately after mine obeys verbal commands. No action required. It has its own turn.
Oh, no action. Cool.
Yeah.
So then.
So you could even bardic inspiration too.
That's just it. So then also bonus action bardic. At Drown, you might need to reinforce yourself a wee bit and give him bardic inspiration.
Thank you. What size die is your
D8.
bardic inspiration these days? D8.
Believe.
D8.
Is it
Wanna
still a
throw
D8?
that to Talmud to help on his
Oh, no, it's a D10 now. It's a D10 now.
Nice.
Ooh,
That's right, because you went up
another
another bard
that's
level.
just it. I forgot we leveled up, so it's getting all.
Yeah,
new
there should
things
be
happening.
a D&D Beyond overlay available on Twitch if you're watching on a computer, that you can see all of their characters, but they are all 13th level characters. Relatively recently, turning 13.
And then, how far is the Chardolin from us currently, and how far would my dragon
if you
need to
look
fly?
at the map of Dugan's Hole, with the Chardolin dragon in the corner on the overlay, you all are basically more or less positioned on that wooden boardwalk between the large house in the center and that sort of longhouse structure. The docks were what was destroyed originally. The dragon is coming in from the north, and is currently... I gotta check its speed. The dragon looks to be about 100 feet away-ish, to the north, bearing down on all of you.
To the north. Okay, so it looks like that this guy could just make it with its flight of 80 feet. And I can cast it 60 feet away from me. So yeah, it could make contact with. So it's going to go after Chardolin.
Your draconic spirit.
The draconic spirit takes off, and you see that collar band around its neck start to glow, the greenish glow that Cantriel's eyes get when she gets pissed off. And it will exhale its breath weapon first, which is going to be 2d6 damage fire, because, you know, red. The Shardolin has to make a dexterity saving throw.
That is a 16.
And I'm just reading to see what it's.
But it's DC. It's probably.
Yeah.
It's your spell save DC, I'm pretty sure.
It's mine? Okay, so that
Yeah,
has to be DC.
it should be.
Okay, cool. So then that is going to be a 16.
I'm sorry, what was the saving throw DC for you?
16.
16? So 17?
16.
We both said a number at the same time. That's why I didn't hear it. So it did just make it with its 16 then.
So it'll take half damage.
Yep.
So it'll take 5 fire.
It will. Yes, it will take 5 fire damage. You just see the the fire just rolling over this Shardolin, these interlocking Shardolin plates, and it just seems to roll across it. You can't really tell if it had much, if any, effect.
Okay. So then it is going to be.
Oh, I need to do a technical thing real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently people are trying to cheer, and for Jaspers, I set my cheer level at 10,000 so that I don't have money coming into the channel. And people can't cheer because you can only cheer 10,000 bits.
No.
So I gotta find where those settings are while yeah, okay, so you did that.
It does its breath, and then it also gets in its bite and claw attack.
Okay.
To hit is a dirty 20.
That will hit.
And then it's a total 11 points piercing for damage.
Total 11 points of piercing. And this is a spell, so it'll be magical attacks.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, whoever's trying to cheer, bits should be reset now. Back to their absolute minimum. Shout out to Big Bearded Nerd.
Woo!
Keeping me on my toes.
Okay, now
so you said 11.
11. Yep.
Excellent.
So it was 5 fire, 11 piercing.
You see these arcane I imagine these sparks that are the same color red of this spirit dragon, where its claws are just raking across the Shardolin. You see these sparks flying, and you're pretty sure you see that it's marking the Shardolin.
Yeah, if she sees, she'll be like, it's taking fire.
So was the 11 both the talons and the bite, or did you still have
it's like
a bite?
One attack. It's
Okay.
just a one together.
Oh, okay, perfect. So are you done now?
Mm-hmm.
Between the two of you, that's like what, 6 attacks?
Oh wait, hold on. No, it makes a number of bite. Jesus Christ, there's a lot going on here.
So for those wondering, we're using the Unearthed
Arcana. Claw
Arcana.
attacks equal to half the spell's level rounded down. So it gets another. God, it gets another one of those bite claw attacks. So it'll get 2 of them.
Makes a number of bite and claw
Okay,
attacks.
so then that is most likely going to whiff with an 11. That's not. Oh, I'm changing dice. That's 6. What number is that? It's either a 6, an 8, or a 3.
Regardless, none of those will hit.
I was gonna say none of those are gonna hit, but I'm gonna get a different die out for that one because it's got glitter in it, but the glitter's like mucked up the number.
Yeah.
That's a no use anymore. So now I'm done. I'm sorry, that takes way longer than I'm used to.
Okay, now you're done. And Drown, you're up. Baron is on deck.
All right. So first off, can you hear me any better?
Oh yeah, that's much
People were
better.
saying I was quiet. Okay, good deal. I fixed something. Not quite sure what, but we'll go with it. All right. So I have a raging hostile Talmud in my face, and the Chardalyn dragon is like 100 feet away, you said?
Yep. Well,
Right.
for spell range purposes, it's 90 feet.
Okay.
Specifically. I realize that 10 feet can make a difference when you're determining what you're going to cast.
All right. So the first thing I'm going to do is cast Far Step as a bonus action and immediately teleport 60 feet. So I'm going to bamf up to like a roof.
Okay. Which roof?
Something within 60 feet.
Yeah, there's just left or right, just so I get a sense of where you are.
Right.
Okay. So you'll be, I realize you can't see where I'm pointing, but to the right of the speaker's house, there's a couple different houses right there. So
Okay.
perfect. Yep,
That's good.
you're suddenly up on one of the roofs.
Yup. All right. And then as my action, I'm going to Eldritch Blast ye olde Chardalyn dragon.
Eldritch Blast.
Eldritch Blast. I think that is going to be, let's see, what's my attack bonus on this again? 13. So that's 29, 25, and a dirty 20.
All three of those will hit.
Hooray! All right, so I'll do a pile of force damage to this thing, and one of the sort of coruscating green rays will solidify into a tentacle and yank it 10 feet closer to me. So each of these are plus 5, 20, 30, 31 points of force damage.
31 points. You said you're pulling it towards you?
Yep.
So
That's my only option with the grasp of Hedar.
So yeah, you would then see it was basically barreling down directly toward that same path where everybody is on that boardwalk, and you've sort of pulled it off course a couple degrees as it's veering in your direction now.
Very good. And that is my turn. I am done.
All right, Baron. Now look at what Baron's got here. Baron has is bracing himself, kind of seeing what's happening, a little still kind of looking sideways at Talmud. I imagine as Talmud was attacking you, Baron sort of drops down and shoulder rolls off to the side and drops to one knee, pulling his short bow off, and he is going to take 2 shots at disadvantage because it is just outside of range. Let's see, I'll do that with this. So he's going to take, that's going to be 22 is the lowest of the first. And then the second is 14. So his first shot actually does hit home. Get out of the way, dice roller. So the first arrow is going to do 10 points of piercing damage. As it finds a spot where the spirit dragon sort of pulled back on one of these Chardalyn plates, just enough that this arrow just the second arrow you see hit, and you see sparks that just whiffs off into wherever, and that's going to be Baron's turn. Goblin Katie, you are up in initiative if you are going to take your action.
I think I need to make a stealth check here. Ooh, that's an 18.
So, does anybody besides Cantriel have a passive perception of 18 or higher? I didn't think so.
9.
Cantriel.
Didn't we already determine that Talmud can't
Yes.
do wisdom stuff?
Cantriel, you notice as you're keeping an eye on this Chardelin dragon, and you're concentrating on your spirit dragon flying up around it. You can see up above and to the side of the Chardelin dragon that you can see that there's something else there. You see, it's very small. It almost looks like maybe a bird or something. It's the light from your spirit dragon sort of catches it a little bit. And otherwise you just see this sort of dark shadow against the aurora in the sky. You're not quite sure what it is. There's something else flying up there.
Cantriel kind of just, at this one. Have her head kind of cocked to the side, narrowing her eyes.
And this little shape that you see kind of swoops around and flies back behind the dragon and just sort of hovers, almost as if watching. And that is my turn this round.
Okay. So, Cantriel, you're the only one that saw this.
Okay.
It is Belak the Malevolent's turn now. As the dragon continues moving, flying forward with big, powerful beats of its wings. Drown, when you pulled it towards you, is that a grapple or you just pull and release?
Nope, just pull and release.
Okay.
Just one good tug, Jeremy.
Yep. See,
Pausing.
I made a mistake. I made a mistake of looking at Jeremy after
Just
I made
a
that
firm
statement.
yank, then we're done.
Me.
So, real quick, I just want to address this. Thank you, everybody who is attempting to leave bits. I apologize. Apparently, it's going to take a stream reset before bits will be enacted. We'll be back next week. Maybe keep trying. I don't know. I did it. We had a lot of switches to throw for the production last week, and I missed that one. So thank you genuinely if you are trying to cheer. We do appreciate it. But I do apologize that's not working for you. So okay. So I'm going to make a quick roll to see if it's going to veer towards you, Drown, or if it's going to revert back to its original course. It's going to hold its, or revert back to its original course. It dips down. It probably comes within about 30 feet of you, so it's not flying directly overhead, Drown, of you. But it actually starts its breath weapon, as it's swooping in towards the speaker's house, which is in front of all of you. And you just see this massive, once again, radiant breath extending out through, and it's just sort of right through this area. So, Baron, Talmud, Thorgarn, and Cantriel are all going to have to make dexterity saving throws. And you can see this, Talmud. And Thorgarn.
There.
And Thorgarn.
That would be a natural 20 for Thorgarn.
All right. You'll all be happy to know that moderator RQ Stefan is on it and clipped
Yep.
all of that one good tug.
Yep.
Talk,
I love that the
so-
moderator is keeping an eye on the tugs.
Yep. Okay. What did the rest of you get on your? Cantriel got and Thorgarn got it.
25.
Talmud, what did you get on yours?
I am going to spend a domain die
Wait, they're above
because
me right now.
Sure, that's what they're there for.
it was traumatic, honestly. That's an 18.
So you succeed as well. So you will all only take. Hold on, I gotta check something. Okay. You all will take only 24 points of radiant damage. As the speaker's house explodes into splinters as this radiant energy just cuts through it, and all of this decking in front of you begins splintering. You all dive to the side, and you're seeing snow and ice and rock and wood splintering up. Drown, you're watching as Belak is doing this, and you see as he bursts through this erupting house and curves low, you see just all the debris. You see a shower of sparks, light reflecting off of everything, and Belak just curves up and is arced upward. I'm going to say he's about 30 feet in the air up above all of you at this point, following this attack. Since he did his wing attack,
Does me taking damage from him give me another chance to make the save? Or does it cancel it entirely? He asked, hopefully.
hold on, let me check.
Yes, expecting
No. Nope, you only get to make the save at the end of your turn.
That's fair. All right.
So you see this as this massive wave of destruction rolls through. You see Belak just sort of spiral the wings around, and he's on the upward mobility. Thorgarn, it is your turn, and Talmud, you'll be on deck.
All right. Since I can't fly, I am just going to pull out Forge Fane, give it a quick toss or a double toss. It's long range, but something's better than nothing here.
Believe in you.
So it's a 22 on the first shot.
That is a hit.
Second shot is an 18 and a 19, so that's a 30.
Wow. Yeah, those are both hits.
Come on. Thank you. That is going to be a total of 37 points of damage.
37, you say? All right. Yeah, you hear the resounding sound. And I would say you even see pieces of Chardolin breaking off as Forge Fane strikes. You see it almost, you would actually specifically recognize this, Thorgarn. It's like when you strike hot iron out of the forge, and the scale breaks away. That's what it looks like as you strike Forge Fane with two quick throws, and it hits, and it sounds almost like striking metal on the forge, and you see this scale flake away from it and drop to the ground, doing some amount of damage to the dragon. Anything else?
I've got nothing I can do with my bonus action at the moment, so I'm done.
Talmud, you are up. You are still charmed by Belak, and you would need to make an investigation check to see if you can find out where your query went, because he used Far Step.
Investigation. Ooh, that's a 6. So no, doubt it.
You're looking around and you do not see your target.
Okay. He's just gonna spend his turn trying to hunt him down, trying to find out where he went. Because I assume it's this kind of situation where it's not necessarily that the entire group is foe. It's just particularly Drown for some reason.
Yes.
Okay. That's the impression that I got.
Yes. Your hatred was directed specifically at Drown.
Okay. So then, yeah, he's just going to try looking around, just trying to literally track him as best he can.
Make me a perception check.
Okie dokie. Ooh. I'm gonna use a domain die.
Despite the bits being broken, we've got some generous gifters of subs that are still keeping you flush. Thank you specifically to Gaz2742, who's gifted a few subs, but I think D&D Jordan Lee also gifted out some subs, or subbed, and RQ Staffen subbed as well. So thank you all for those.
Okay, so even with the reroll, it's still a 22.
Okay. Something catches your eye, and I'm gonna say, because you specifically said you're gonna use your turn looking around, you've used your movement just sort of wandering around this area looking to see where your query went. Where did Drown go? And in scanning the area, you look up between where the dragon is and the dragon was, where you see this other spectral dragon. And as your attention is drawn up, you spot something else flying around in the sky up above you. Something small, creating just a small silhouette against the sky. But you still haven't found your quarry.
I am very stealthy.
Says the Goliath standing on top of a building. I like to imagine that as Talmud is standing there and he's flummoxed. He can't find him. He's looking around and he looks up in frustration and he spots this shape flying around up there, and the camera pans up, and immediately above him, about 15 feet, is Drown standing on top of the peak of this house, just looking down at Talmud. Cantriel, you are up.
All right, so Cantriel, seeing this creature flying around above us, she's going to move forward, basically down the length of that dock area. So she's standing close to the edge of the dock. She's going to look up at the Charlotte, and you just see her eyes start to narrow, but that intense green kicks into gear. And she starts to whistle, but purses her lips so that it starts increasing in pitch to the point, if anyone were near, it actually be the type of sound that would almost make ears bleed. And you see focused on the Chardolin a similar green-like orb of her eyes as she's casting 6th level Shatter. And it's a construct, so it has to roll at disadvantage, because I have advantage.
Which will cancel out because it has advantage against magical effects.
Okay, so now
it will be a
rolling.
straight roll.
Cool.
Excuse me. Okay, so straight roll. Sorry, it's a con save, correct?
Con save. Yep, against a 16.
All right, I'm still
It'll take
using
half damage on
the
a fail.
D&D dice roll, D&D Beyond dice roller.
Okay.
And your spell save DC is 16, yes?
Correct.
And that's what I rolled.
Then you're gonna roll again.
That's two.
Because they're being nice and they're
That's-
giving us domain dice.
That's
I
two
know.
domain dice to make me
They give us
re-roll.
more. I don't
So
care.
we'll go
They're
ahead.
being very generous, and they want to see us using them.
We'll go ahead and re-roll that con save. It landed on a 3, but it was at the edge of the screen, and it went boop onto a 17. That's a 25 on that re-roll.
Can we do it again?
That's-
Yeah, do it again.
You got
Come on.
them. You got.
130 something
You got
of
a.
them.
Whoops.
Let's do it.
Why not?
There we
Let's just
go.
have fun with that.
135. We'll re-roll that again. That's 27.
Are you kidding me? I hate these automatic dice.
You need to return dice.
What was that?
He needs to retire those dice.
Well, they're mechanical or they're
They're the
digital, aren't they?
Candlekeep dice.
I don't
Yeah.
have a word with D&D Beyond.
All right, I gotta double check here. So you did just get another sub to give you back one of those domain dice.
Thank you.
So yeah, you're concentrating with all your might, and you can almost, because you're using this sort of this high piercing note, you actually hear the entirety of the Chatelaine scales and plates and stuff on this dragon resonating and harmonizing. It creates a sort of harmonics with your scream, and it reaches this point where everybody can hear this perfect harmony that cancels out until both Cantriel and the vibrations of the dragon just go silent, and the spell has no effect on it.
This was shatter, right?
Yeah.
Still takes half damage.
Yeah.
Oh,
It was like, is there something
yeah, roll
else
the
that's-
damage.
Okay, well,
Yeah, sorry,
it was a
yes.
total of 42, the meaning of life, so it's
Okay,
21.
so 21. So it will, you'll see when it goes silent from this being canceled out, you see spider webs across the surface, and you see more of that sort of scale fall away as you have done some damage to this creature.
And then the demonic spirit is going to fly into action. And first we will do the you have to make a dexterity saving throw against a 16.
All right, I'm going to roll real dice this time. I'm not rolling that one because that one never rolls well.
No, that's the one you should roll.
No. No. I'm going to roll this wonderful bubblegum pink die.
Okay.
So this is a dexterity saving throw
Correct.
against, this is the dragon, so it's a magical effect. It's your spirit dragon.
It's breath weapon. Yeah. Multicolored energy.
That is a total of, see, now I can't see what they say. That's my fault for having streamer lights going. I have red and blue lights, and it's a red and or a pink and blue die, so I can't see it.
Just assume it's a natural one.
It's it's a 13. There's
Okay, so
I
that
was
it's
looking
going
for
to
its
take
dex bonus.
10 fire.
Okay, yeah, more fire.
And then it goes into its bite and claw attack, of which it has 2, which I know now. And the first attack is going to be a 22 to hit.
Yep.
And then that is going to be 11 piercing again on that bite. And let's say it's going in for claws, and that is going to be a 24 to hit.
Yep.
And why do I keep rolling 2s? It's going to be another 11 points piercing.
All right. Does it give in your draconic spirit? Does it say? Okay, it's large. That's what I wanted to know.
Yeah, it's a large dragon.
I'm wondering what this. Where'd it go? Here. So it is smaller than the Chatelaine dragon is, but it's still formidable compared to the rest of you. As there's this construct and spirit dragon battle taking place above, with apparently what looks like a bird or a bat flying somewhere above it. Is that the end of your turn, Cantriel?
Officially? Sure.
In theory.
Drown.
Also-
Good.
Oh,
Did he do his physical attacks too? Did I miss that? Oh, okay.
what did you forget, Talmud?
I forgot to re-roll my saving throw at the end of my turn.
Oh, yeah.
So I did so, and my dice laughed at me. So, but I did spend a domain die, and they still laughed.
Okay, so you are still under the influence.
Unless a 13 does it, which I
No,
kind
a 13
Yeah.
does not. I just need to.
And just to check, Cantriel gave Bardic Inspiration to drown.
With a D10. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Okay, down to 135 on the domain dice. And Drowned, it is your turn. You are up on the rooftop.
And Brutus is about, what, 30 feet up, you said?
Yeah, so I think that would put him about 15 feet above you. Not directly above, sort of above and to the left of you.
Okay, so in a swirl of dark green and energy and spray of sea foam, Drown is going to vanish and reappear right above it and just fucking two-handed baseball swing this thing in the face.
Taking a play out of Talmud's book.
Yup.
I approve.
We call that a Talmud special.
Gonna burn my inspiration on that to roll better. Which that is better. That'll hit. Haha. And so I'm going to smack it and burn my last spell slot to Eldritch Smite it.
Super crit.
So that's, I mean, I guess if we're gonna drink poison, don't forget to lick the bowl. Yeah, we'll super crit it. F it.
Super crit. That's gonna be 5 domain dice. So we'll just go right ahead and knock that down to 125.
Is D8 plus another D8 per spell slot, so that's what, 68 plus another 1 for the what do you call that thing? It's a staff. 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8, 5, 56 plus 12, 56. It's going to be 67 points of damage, mixture of magical bludgeoning and force, and knocks it prone because it's a creature that is huge or smaller, which means his ass falls right along with me.
All right. So yeah, Drown leaps or teleports through the air and drops down on this thing as if he weighed as much as this dragon. Just pure magical force propelling him, and you just see this anime style burst of light as suddenly Belak takes that same speed and crashes into the ground below you. I'm gonna need everybody in the area to make a dexterity saving throw as a giant or a huge construct just came barreling out of the sky right where you're standing, more or less.
Oops. That was not my intent. Sorry. And I think we might both have to deal with falling damage.
Yeah, so there is going to be 30, so there's going to be 3d6. Yeah, dexterity saving throw for everybody else on the ground.
All right, thank you.
12 points of bludgeoning damage. Drown.
All right, so I'm going to use my reaction to burn my stone's endurance, and I reduce the damage by 12. Take 0 means I superhero land and don't fall prone.
Nice.
And so while all of this is going on, I'll take my second attack.
And you notice you notice in your superhero stance that the dragon doesn't take much bludgeoning damage either.
I'm sure it does not. And I will hit it, but no big smite on this one.
Anybody that rolled below a 16 on their dex save is now prone.
Oof. Sorry about that.
No worries.
All right, so I'll hit it with my second staff attack for 20 points of magical bludgeoning.
Okay.
And that's... Wait, I still have a bonus. No, I teleported. All right, I'm done.
Okay.
For reals.
As this thing lands on the ground, it is going to be Baron's turn. He comes charge. Oh wait, I gotta check and see if he rolled a dirty 20, so he did not get knocked prone when it landed. He comes charging across, and you just hear this shing as he pulls this greatsword off his back. And Drown, you see below you Baron come charging, and he's going to take 3 attacks with this greatsword. And that is going to be a 19. These are advantage, aren't they? Because he's prone, technically.
Yeah.
So let me re-roll at advantage, just to see if Baron crits. So that's going to be a 24. That's going to be a 16. So that one is not going to work. And then that's twice with advantage that he rolled nat ones, but got a dirty 20 on the second one. So 2 of the hits are going to I did that damage wrong last time. So the first hit, max damage 17 plus another 9 is 25, and because he is a champion, that's another 4d6, so 25. 33.
He got a crit?
No, he didn't get a crit.
He didn't get a crit. Okay.
33. 45 points of damage.
Nice.
On 2 hits with this great sword. As Baron comes running in, and you just see the sparks flying, and actual chunks of Chardolin are breaking free from this construct.
So, Staffen has requested that Baron super crit.
That's up to all of y'all.
I mean, Baron's been with us for quite a while, and he's clearly gotten some knack to his abilities.
I will put that 45 back, and instead we'll do the max damage double. So he gets 2d6 plus 5 per hit, so that's 17, so 34, and the 4d6 would be 24, so that would be 58. So Baron is going to do 116 points of bludgeoning damage as he comes running, and this is the first you've really seen what Baron can do. At this point, Baron almost looks like Tormund Giantsbane from Game of Thrones as he comes in wielding this, and you just see him hacking into this Chardolin, and chunks of Chardolin go flying, and he, with precision, all the precision you can muster of a greatsword, he carves away a piece of the Chardolin, spins the greatsword around, and brings it in and plunges it into, and you actually see what almost looks like forge fire just sort of from the wound as he draws the greatsword out, and there's an arc of molten metal that curls through the air, illuminating, and you just hear that as he does 116 points of damage.
Since we're doing giant piles of damage, I would be remiss if I didn't tell you that I only gave you a single max damage crit and did not do the super part of the super crit. So it needs another 56 points of damage. Sorry about that.
No, you're not.
Okay.
The dragon's just laying there all of a sudden. Ow!
He's sitting there going.
You just see one talon just go.
The 66 seemed a bit low, but I was biting my tongue.
Okay.
Next time, say something.
Folk.
So,
Sorry, Will.
wow. The Chardolin dragon has taken a lot of damage, but is still writhing beneath you, looking like it's trying to right itself, like it wants to. You can see its wings are kind of pushing against the sides of buildings. Its tail is lashing out as it's attempting to right itself. Goblin Katie, what are you gonna do?
You hear this sound, and V, you see and Jeremy, you both see the shape that was in the sky start streaking downwards. And at the same time, there's this explosion of snow from behind you as this gigantic owl bear comes charging through a snowdrift and lets out this roar as it races towards the Chardolin dragon. And from the sky, you hear, "You know what? That dragon lady!" And I'm going to cast Fireball at 7th level.
Okay.
That is an explosion of D6s.
So I need to make a dexterity saving throw at disadvantage.
Yes, please.
I'm going to do this with real dice. I'm going to use my Todd Stashwick dice and my Trader Brandon dice and see what happens. So at disadvantage, that's going to be a 5.
That fails. And it's going to take 53 fire damage, and nobody else in the area takes any.
Baron and drown as this tiny kobold creature drops down onto the back of this snowy owl bear. You can't help but notice the screaming and then just this fire just arcing towards you. It strikes the Chardalyn dragon. Massive burst of chaotic fire, explosion, and you just reflexively brace against it. And the flames curve around you. They don't even touch you. You feel a little bit of warmth from it, but you are unharmed by the fire of this
fire
massive...
itself is white and blue. It's that raging hot, dense center of the fire, white and blue flame. And it just sort of combusts and wraps itself around the Chardalyn dragon.
What was the total on the
53 points of damage?
53?
Yes.
Okay.
And does the owlbear get there in time?
I imagine from Drown and I'm gonna say from Drown and Baron's perspective, as the fireball, they see this snowy owlbear come charging in, and yeah, go for it.
Awesome. Okay. He rushes in, and just as he's about to reach it, he kind of jumps up into the air and brings down both claws. And that's going to be a 20 to hit, dirty 20.
Yep.
And it'll be 12 damage, 12 slashing. And then he ranks down with his beak, and that's going to be a 17 to hit.
That is going to hit.
And that's 12 points of damage.
All right. So a new challenger has entered the ring. 2 new challengers have entered the ring.
Do you want a description, or do you want to wait on that?
No, I think because of the fire, this white-blue flame that sort of illuminated this whole area, this is that heroic moment where as the flames are moving away, we're almost slow motion, epic music is playing as the camera's doing a 360 pan, and we see this very heroic look of this. What do we see?
You see this teeny tiny white kobold with wings sprouting out of its back. It's sort of a bluish white, but its nose and horns and the tips of its nails are all a charcoal gray. It's wearing just this beat up, rough looking spun tunic with a rope tied around its waist and linen pants that are torn and have patches everywhere. And all of its clothing seems to have singe marks on it, as though it's been through a couple fires. But it stands there very proudly, and she has her hands on her hips, and she glares down at the dragon and says, "You are not a real dragon."
In response to this, the Chardalyn dragon begins thrashing about, trying to right itself. Drown, you're still classified as medium, correct? And this thing's huge, so it's basically just going to try to rise to its feet and take to the air. So I'll need you to make a dexterity save to see if you are able to land safely. Or if you want to hold on. Either way, it's your choice.
Is the dex save required to hold on?
No, that will be in a strength athletics check to hold on.
I will hold on.
Okay. It's going to use half of its movement to right itself and fly 45 feet into the air.
Nice.
Was I close enough to this thing if it landed, prone enough to knock me over that I would get an attack for opportunity?
It wasn't that, it was sort of the shockwave that knocked
Okay,
you over.
sure.
The
Yeah,
only
sure.
one, I think, actually the only two that will get the opportunity attacks would be the Snowy Owlbear and Baron as it's rising up. So go ahead and roll your athletics.
I have a 22 on strength athletics.
All right, let me just see if it was able to shake you off. 22, you say? It's not
Did I
concerned.
roll since I landed on it?
Did you land on the dragon?
Yeah. Rolo doesn't make good choices.
So you fireballed on the way down and then landed in the midst of all this fire.
Will fit.
So yeah, you'll get an opportunity attack, or you can choose to try to hold on to it. You don't have to make a dex save to stay on it because you can basically just fly off of it.
I do want an opportunity attack with her quarterstaff.
Okay, so go ahead and make an opportunity attack.
Oh no! I'd
no.
like to use a domain dice.
First melee attack from the Kobold Wizard, and gonna burn a domain die because you rolled in that one. Welcome to the Dawnbringers. Did Jeremy lend you some dice?
Huh?
I said, did Jeremy lend you some dice?
No, it's D&D Beyond. They're being snotty to me.
I know, that's the nice thing is I can actually
earlier.
see your rolls coming up. Okay, so what's your new roll?
15.
You just hear this little ting as you strike at it with this staff. Baron is going to take a single greatsword attack. Baron's going to get a 25. So Baron is going to do 7 plus 5 is 12 plus 4. So Baron's going to do 16 points of damage to it. And Drown, you were holding it. What about your Snowy Owlbear? Gets one of its attacks.
Professor Alfred is going
Professor
to...
Alfred.
Alfred, yes.
I love it.
Is going to run over and it chomps down on one of the wings of the dragon, and it will hit with a dirty 20.
Okay.
Judging by what has happened, and that'll be 8 piercing.
Okay.
And his feet come off the ground just a few steps as it lifts itself up and lets go and falls back to the ground.
Okay. So that's the first 4 as it lifts off the ground, and it flies 45 feet straight up. But it is now going to dash and fly another 90 feet straight up. You can choose to hold on, Drown, or at any point choose as it's getting higher and higher. Decide if you're going to disembark. But you are going to, if you stay on, you're flying up to a height of 135 feet.
Okie doke.
Okay. So the dragon has flown straight up. It is Thorgarn's turn.
You said 135 feet away?
Yep.
Yeah, that's out of the range of anything I can possibly do. Just trying to double check, see if there's anything in my repertoire that might be there, but no. The only thing I thought, might be a chance when you said 90, I'm like, oh, well, maybe I could guiding bolt, but that's going to be a no. Anybody on the ground actually injured, damaged?
Give me a investigation check.
Give me a die roll.
Or a perception check as you're looking around. I mean, there's chaos. This is splintered wood and snow and fireballs going off and houses blown apart.
Well, that's a dirty 20.
Thorgarn, the first thing you notice as you're looking around to see if anybody is injured, you glance around looking for the rest of your party members, and you see and hear the fight, the opportunity attacks, and then the dragon bellowing as it rises high into the sky, and you glimpse Drown clinging on to the Chardolin plates of this thing. And as you look around, something catches your eye about 15 feet to your left. And you see lying prone, partially covered in the debris of the shattered boardwalk, you see Fig's unmoving body. You also notice that there are several pieces of shattered and slagged copper and brass blown outward where Fig's head would be. And lying in the snow is a large blue sapphire and a large red ruby with a couple handfuls of diamonds lying next to them, no longer orbiting the gems of Fig. And that is where we're going to take our break.
What did you do, Jacob?
We are going to take a brief 10-minute break. After we go to our break screen, I am going to end the stream for about 60 seconds. And then I will restart it and have us on our break screen. And hopefully that'll reset whatever's hindering the bits from being usable. It won't affect my VOD at all. So, or at least what's going to go up on YouTube. So please stick around when the stream breaks in just a moment. And we will be back at approximately 10 after 10. We will see you in just a few minutes.
Don't crack me.
There we go. And we're back.
And we're back.
Oh, I hit the
technically.
wrong window. I need to adjust this overlay because we have now seen that Goblin Katie is playing a Kobold the Wizard.
A cupboard.
Although technically, she hasn't introduced herself, but there you have it.
We'll get there.
And when we left off, the dragon had flown 135 feet, 135 feet straight up into the air with Drown clinging to it. Thorgarn was looking around to see if anybody needed healing, and that's when he spotted the headless body of Fig, the clockwork wizard, lying in the snow and debris, shattered remnants of his metal head lying around, and the two crystals, his own blue sapphire and Archimedes' red ruby gem, and the diamonds that orbit them, are lying in the snow a couple feet away, lying flat but somehow looking like it's somehow filled a little bit, is Fig's hat of holding. No blue arcane energy is coursing through Fig's body. Fig's body is completely cold copper.
So Thorgarn would let out this, primal scream, and as opposed to like of rage, it's despair and grief, and he would just charge over towards Fig's body, and just trying to, he's just in shock. And I'll spend my turn there.
Okay. That takes us back to the top of the order. Talmud, it is your turn. Your target, you can now clearly see, is 135 feet straight up, clinging to the back of the dragon.
And this kind of twisted, distorted face, it's this spectral image, kind of screams and yells and shakes his fists up at the sky. No, it's so far away. He's gonna turn and run head first into the first hard object that he can find.
I guess that would be the that would be the house right behind you.
Sounds great. Need some redecorating.
Yeah, you charge into it, and you take no points of damage. I rolled a 1, so you just charge into it, and you sort of just shake your head as you hit it, and snow from the eaves that you knock loose just. Is there anything else?
That tracks.
Anything else?
Nope. That's
go ahead and make your saving throw. And that, folks, is how you burn an action to get to the saving throw.
I can't attack him.
Right.
I gotta keep my rage somehow. All right.
Well, I will say this. Technically, and I'm not going to make you do this, but technically there is one way you can get to him. But in your raged state and your charm state, I don't know that you would necessarily go right to that. But I did want to.
I had thought about it, but like I get it once a day, and I'm like, oh.
And if you want to be super technical, I don't know if it forces you to use your action to do anything other than attack me. So.
No, I'll take a look here real quick. It just says.
Spin another domain.
The dragon machine will be charmed by
Jeremy,
it.
can you use the cape while raging?
I think so. I don't see why not. It's not.
Okay, hold on.
Can't cast spells.
Hold on. A creature charmed in this way fixates on another creature or object that the dragon mentally chooses, and must, on each of its turns, move as close as it can to the target and use its action to make a melee attack against it. I will let you determine that. As I said, I'm not going to force you to use that. It's a magic item. It's not a casting of a spell. And it's a bonus action to use it, isn't it?
Full action.
Is it a full
Dimension
action
Door, I
to
think
use
is a full
the
action.
cape?
Yeah.
So I think that might be your loophole there as well. Knowing that you wouldn't be able to get an attack in on it. Him, I should say, not it. So yeah, I'm not going to force the issue. I just wanted to bring it up so we can ignore it, I guess.
Okay.
I don't know. It might be
so
because
you demonstrated how to burn an action to get to the saving throw. I demonstrated how to waste 2 minutes talking about a rule you're not going to enforce. Go ahead and make your saving throw.
Okay, that's a 19. After I use a domain die.
Hooray!
So you used a domain
Ramming the
die.
head.
You
Works.
used a domain die in your last one, but did you roll at advantage?
No, I did not last time.
Because Cantriel was specifically singing a song.
He did. He rolled a 4 and a 5.
Okay.
Oh, yes. Last time
Okay.
I didn't. This
I just
time.
wanted to make sure that we were dealing with all of that. So okay.
Yeah, I rolled a 4 and a 5, and then blew a domain die to get a 13 last
Okay,
time.
so this time
we got a play-by-play on that shit.
this time, what did you get when you blew a domain die?
19.
That breaks you free.
Oh, thank God.
Apparently, I blew the correct domain die.
Prison.
Oh, I'm pretty sure Jeremy and I knew exactly what we were doing.
Sometimes, in order to get ahead in this world,
Right.
Wrong man.
So you are now free from your charm. You are now free from your charm.
Good night,
I think it's here. Cantriel,
Yes.
you are up.
everybody.
Oh.
Lovely. And
You know what?
what?
Nothing.
Mhm.
Okay, you can try the bits now. Apparently, I did them in the wrong order and didn't hit save on the one that was costing the 10,000 limit. So it was my fault. There's 2 fields that I had to adjust. So I have now adjusted both of them. I changed the emote, not the bits, so we should be good. Okay, Cantriel, what are you going to do?
All right. Well,
You said your dragon can move. Was it 80 feet?
honestly, it's going to be too much distance for me to keep the spell up and for it to get to the
Oh yeah, what's the range on that?
60, and then it has 80 from my point of. So I don't think it's going to be.
The
No.
range doesn't matter after it's cast.
Doesn't.
Like, it
Oh, okay. So then, yeah, it still only has 80 feet of.
You could cause it to dash,
Yeah.
but then it wouldn't have no attacks. It would just get to the dragon.
Yeah. Okay, then I'm going to shoot Sempre at the Charlatan because that's really about all I can do right now, distance-wise. So fire off a couple shots.
I now got to keep up with all the bits everybody's cheering.
Hold
so
on,
I
hold on
can
a sec. Okay.
Award domain
You
dice
do
accordingly.
that, and then as part of my bonus action, I'm going to activate Slayer's Prey. So I get an extra d6 on
So you're shooting Sempre Cavatina?
Sempre Cavatina with an extra d6 because of Slayer's Prey for the first.
Okay.
That is going to be a 21 to hit.
And that's a longbow, so it's 300, 600, right? You're not at
bad.
disadvantage at 135
No, I'm not.
feet. So okay, so what do you got to hit?
I got a 21 to hit. Cool. Then that is going to be. I just got full damage on my die too. So that is going to be why am I 14 plus? It's going to be 20 piercing
Okay.
from and then second one will not have Slayer's Prey on it. That is going to be a 24 to hit.
That is a hit.
And then it's 13.
13. So Drown, you just hear this ting, ting, as a couple of arrows lodge in between the plates on this thing, and you recognize the fletching on those arrows. You know who's shooting up here. Oh my gosh, I cannot keep up with all of you people. I'm gonna put you guys up at that'd be 1/3. I'm gonna put you up a couple. Because the domain dice are coming in and they're cumulative, and I want to make sure to honor all those wonderful bits. So
And another hype train going too.
yeah, we're just waiting for that hype train, right?
Yep.
So I'm gonna put you. I think that'll right there. That should cover all the bits so far. Okay.
Okay.
So you
And
took your
then,
2 shots.
Got my shots in, used my bonus action. Now my draconic spirit, you'll see its collar get that green glow again as it starts flying towards the Chardolin. And again, making it dash basically to get closer to it.
Okay. So if it's dashing, it'll be able to make the full. It won't even have to use that full distance to get right up in this thing's face.
Okay.
Drown. Astride Belak the Malevolent. You feel, as with every beat of its wings, you feel the Chardolin plates sort of rippling beneath you, and sort of just as it's all of the interconnected nature of this thing moving, as this complex construct is rising higher into the air. What are you going to do?
All right. So, as my action, I am going to activate my Rod of the Pact Keeper to regain a spell slot. And as my bonus action, Drown's eyes shimmer with that green light from the depths, and watery spectral tentacle sort of oozes out from between the plates of the Chardolin dragon and strikes at it.
All right.
That is only going to be a 17. Probably not going to hit.
That is exactly what you need
Aha!
to hit it.
Got him. Then it will take 12 points of cold damage, if that affects it at all.
You would see the frost spread out and almost immediately begin to melt as it takes half damage.
Yep, that's fair enough. Okay, that's my turn.
6 damage. Okay. Baron. Okay. Yeah, he's. Anybody near him, you just hear the frustrated sound as he drops his great sword into the snow at his feet, pulls his short bow up, throwing 2 arrows into the snow in front of him. As he knocks the first arrow, immediately grabs another one, and he takes 3 shots up at disadvantage for range. That's going to be at disadvantage. That's going to be a 17. An 11. That one's going to go wide. And that is a critical fail. So, Drown. You will need to make a dexterity saving throw to see if that arrow strikes you. The first one, though, is going to be... The hit is going to be 8 plus 7. So he does 15 points of damage with his arrow that hit. And what's your dex save?
13.
That is not going to be enough. You needed a 15 to dodge this. As you hear one arrow strike the dragon, you hear another one just sort of whistle in the air past you, and then you hear that whistling sound again, and you get shot in the shoulder, where your arm is sort of gripping around onto this. You are going to take... you rolled a 1 on that first die, so that's a 3 plus 5. You're only going to take 8 points of piercing damage as this arrow strikes you.
All right.
And that is Baron's turn. Rolo, you are up, and I need to manage your domain dice because chat keeps throwing gifts and bits.
Yay, thank you. Rolo turns around and looks at Cantriel. You want me to do it again?
If you mean the big boom fiery thing, absolutely yes. But wait, we have a friend on there. You can do that whole make it not hurt again.
Yes.
You keep that one safe, then you can do what you want to the fake dragon.
And she flies up and kind of rummages her hands around very much more flamboyantly than she did the last time. And she lets loose this fireball. I'm casting fireball at 6th level.
All right. I love the counterpoint of this massive construct dragon just and then Rolo.
Rolo is 1 foot 10 inches, so she's wee.
Very much like a bat. At disadvantage, why did I roll it? Oh, because wait, I get advantage. Sorry, because it's a spell effect.
Yeah.
That is a 16 on
That
the
fails.
saving throw. Oh, okay.
You need an 18.
Okay.
All right.
So
I'm gonna
that's
46 points of damage.
drown. Fire. This white blue fire erupts all around you as a fireball streaks up, hits the dragon, sort of on the lower part of its belly, and the flame momentarily just. And again, you feel nothing but a bit of heat from this fire. You take no damage. 46. Belak seems still, though you see plates are burned, scorched, scratched, in some places are peeled away. There's even a place where molten metal seems to be leaking from where Baron pierced in with his greatsword. The beating of the wings is as mighty as ever as it turns towards the northeast, and you would know from viewing the table of its planned areas of attack that it is angling towards East Haven, and it is going to fly east.
Would my dragon have gotten an opportunity attack?
Say again?
Wouldn't my dragon have gotten an opportunity attack?
Oh yeah, your dragon would get an opportunity attack as it turns to flee.
As it turns to flee.
Well, let me... Yeah, never mind. Because those count as... Well, I'm just wondering something, but no, I'm going to not wonder that. Just go ahead.
Okay.
Just go ahead. Forget I said anything.
Just
Okay.
go with it.
I topped off
One
my
thing that you wanted
my
to bring up
glass.
so that we could ignore.
I topped off my glass with the blood of my enemies at the break.
Lovely.
So
It's going to have to do a dex save throw against my fire damage, and it'll take half as much if it is successful.
opportunity attack can only be a melee attack, correct?
Oh, well, then we'll just go for the bites and such. That's right.
That was sort of where I was wondering about, and I was leaning towards the
Okay.
fact that this is a
So
spell,
then-
but the spell conjured the spirit. The spirit is manifest, so you do get the opportunity attack, but it's melee.
Okay, but then I got a really pretty number.
You can always tell when V rolls a natural 20.
I have a crit giggle.
Can I super credit?
Thanks to chat, you're back up to 136 domain dice, so by all
not that-
means, turn that into a super crit.
I mean, it's not that. I mean, I don't know if I should because it's only a d6 that I have to work with. So
I mean, you get, it just does 1d6 of damage.
does 1d6 plus damage plus the additional hollow blue that goes with it.
So what's the additional hullabaloo?
It's 9 total.
So you would turn a 15 into a 30. You would do 30 points of damage with a super crit.
Okay, so sure, let's just.
I mean, you've
get
got
some
him the
extra
burn,
damage.
and it's
Might as well.
everybody seems to be agreeing with it. So
Okay, then its color burns bright green, and we're gonna super crit. So it's sinking its teeth in, and I kind of see it's almost like grabbing like a piece that's sort of sticking out further, like maybe a portion of the wings, and you just hear this tearing metal sound as it punctures through.
So that's gonna be 30.
And that's the only one, right? It wouldn't get both for the opportunity attack.
It just gets the one attack.
And yeah, let's make it this way.
All right, so I gave 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So it is going to fly its full speed of 180 feet.
Oh,
So
ground.
it is flying 180 feet to the east. Drown, are you still holding on? All right. At this speed, all of you would know that short of teleportation, it is going to outfly your ability to. Are you Xing me out or your party? Okay. I'm assuming I asked a question, a yes or no, and he just.
Oh no! I'm bringing this damn thing down.
Oh,
It's not good. It's not going.
so at this point, short of teleportation, you all know that this thing is rapidly moving out of range. I'm not pulling it out of range completely because you do have ranged attacks that can probably
Jake,
still
on
hit
my
it.
next turn, I'm going to put it on the ground.
Oh, you think you're going to put it on the ground?
Yes.
Oh.
Okay.
Yes, I do.
Okay. Well, it's 135 feet up, 180 feet to the northeast.
Or in the lake, wherever.
It's not going towards the lake, so I can actually show you just real quick.
Surprise me when we land.
On our battle maps here, it is currently flying in the direction of not East Haven, Goodmead. So it's flying along the edge of the Red Waters. Actually, it might be flying over the water a little bit. So that's where we're at. As that, it uses its whole turn to do that. Thorgarn, you've got Fig's seemingly dead body at your feet.
So I'm fairly certain, that medicine check or Smith tools check, any of that kind of stuff is going to tell me that there's no life, no energy flowing. I now even further away from being able to do anything from the dragon. So I'm going to stick to in character, and I'm going to attempt a Cure Wounds on Fig and see if that will do anything, knowing what the answer is.
What does it look like? Describe this scene as you're attempting to do Cure Wounds. It's the equivalent of the we've all seen in the movies, trying to administer first aid, doing chest compressions, whatever.
It's that fumbling emotional prayer, calling out to Moradin, probably throwing something along the lines of, that, Fig being a construct, there's definitely a closeness to the Forge, unlike, us puny creatures of flesh and blood. And for Shiggles, I'll do it all in Celestial.
And this is one of those moments where everything is in slow motion. The dramatic music is playing as you're attempting this very emotional state, and you're seeing off in the distance the slow motion yells. You see Baron in slow motion drawing his bow and shooting. You see the explosion of the fireball high above, sort of creating this illumination around you and sparks falling around as you are trying to no avail to resuscitate Fig. Talmud, it is your first turn not under the influence of this dragon. It is 145 feet up and 180 feet northeast. Did I say Thorgarn again? Talmud? I'm pretty sure I said Talmud.
No, you didn't.
No.
Did I say Thorgarn?
Yeah.
Yep.
Damn it.
It's okay, Dad.
Yep.
Damn it.
Okay.
I was still inwardly laughing at Shiggles.
I was too. That has now been supplanted into my lexicon. So, damn it. I think his. How far away is it again?
I'm not going to do the math on 145 up and 180 northeast,
Okay,
but it's
so-
within a couple hundred feet,
Okay.
or right at about a couple hundred feet.
So remember that thing that we talked about just a moment ago?
Yep. That's why
I think that's-
the distance is important, because you have 500 feet to work with. It's well within range.
I think that's what it is. Yeah. Okay. So, as if a voice had whispered the idea to him on a wind, he is going to wrap the cloak around him himself, and then there's this puff of yellowish black smoke and the smell of sulfur, and he's going to cape the mountebank onto the back of this bastage.
You will immediately need to make a strength athletics check to see if you can grab a hold of it. It is in motion. At least this time you could see where it was.
In the ocean. So that's a 22 athletics.
I'm going to. There is a chance that it could beat that. I got 16. You're good. You grab hold.
Excellent.
You grab hold right next to. I imagine almost like opposite the side that Drown is grabbing a hold. All of a sudden, there's just this, and there's Talmud suddenly with hair and beard just.
Yep. Oh, hi, Drown. He kind of like looks across the back of this creature, looking a little worse for wear.
I am trying to respond, but my computer keeps freezing.
Well, tech issues are the worst.
Drown speaks some gibberish you don't understand. He might be
Right.
speaking.
So
it must be in
Drown will
giant.
look at you. Drown will look at Talmud, not exactly surprised, but just kind of tilts his head and says, "We are about to fall."
Sounds like fun. Okay. So if I'm holding on, then likely I won't be able to attack with any of my weapons.
You could at disadvantage,
Okay, I'll take it.
as
Not be reckless.
Yeah,
um
that's true.
as Gary from FortNerd.com likes to say. Of course you can. You're a goddamn hero.
I like it. All right. So yes, recklessly, I will strike at the beast. Hey, okay. So that is a stop it. A 32.
That's a hit.
Good.
We're going to fall, clinging on. Talmud's like grabbing Gertha Brilne, going to get a hold of it and just clang.
Like, that's fine. If we could fall, I'm just gonna keep doing what I do. All right. So we decided this does not technically count as a dragon. Is that right?
Correct. It's a construct.
Okay. All right.
Clang, clang, clang went the dragon.
Dragon.
Right.
John Henry. you get that? 14?
No. 14.
14.
Got it. You break off another, just as you connect, you see a piece of this this Chardolin just sort of fall away. How many actions do you get?
Just one action, but I can take 2 attacks with it.
Right, but you used an action to get up here. So you actually wouldn't be able to attack.
No, I couldn't. Nope. Good call.
So we see in Talmud's mind's eye what he wants to do.
I tried real hard, though.
It was a good effort.
Cantriel, what would you do as the dragon is so far off?
Well, from a distance, no one would be able to hear this string of expletives that she's learned from various locations of various taverns, speaking to various patrons of these taverns.
Rollo and Thorgarn are close enough that they would probably hear what you're saying.
Yep. So, Rollo might be learning some new languages depending. I mean, I'm sure she's like filtering through her Draconic and, plethora of her she's got her Draconic, her Elvish, her Celestial. She's going through all of them.
Our lady dragon speaks in tongues.
And oh, that's weird. Sorry, it looks like I know she had Dwarvish and it's not there anymore on D&D Beyond. Anyways, so then it's flying too far really to even hit it at this point, right?
You have 600 feet of range with your bow at disadvantage.
Okay.
I don't think you have any spells that can reach that range.
I don't have spell sniper or anything close to that would be good for distance.
And I think we figured out AC is 17, so I don't know what your bonus is, but
yeah,
disadvantage.
It's an 11.
It'd still be
It's an
pretty
11,
good.
so yeah. Okay, then I'll try a couple shots then, is what we're gonna do.
I knew somebody was going to do the math. Thank you, Dan. It's 231 feet away from the people on the ground.
231 feet. Thank you. I don't like the math thing. So at disadvantage, then that's going to be a 22.
That's still a hit.
And then that is going to be 12 points piercing.
All right.
And then second shot, that will be dirty 20 to hit.
A hit? You've
And
learned
then
that its
that's
AC
11
is
piercing.
17 now.
Oh, okay. So
So-
then it's 11 piercing.
Okay. Couple more arrows thunk into this dragon, Talmud, and drown. And is that it, Cantriel?
I believe so, quite frankly. Holy heck, we have a
Starin.
lot of gifted tears happening.
Thank you, Starin.
Yeah.
We've missed
That's
you,
really
and thank you for
cool.
coming in and just with your 5 gift subs giving out that is the equivalent of a super crit. I'll fix that.
A super crit, you say?
Yeah, Cantriel, if you're done, is your spectral dragon still up?
The spectral dragon is still up.
I don't think it has the range to reach it though, because it can only fly.
It can fly 80
It can
feet.
dash at 160, and it's more than that. It's at least 180
Yeah.
feet away, so it would still be
It's gonna
20
get to
feet
the point
out.
where I can't. Yeah. So
So that's going to
Okay.
take us to drown.
Okay. With my newly refreshed spell slot, I am going to smash my packed weapon into this dragon and kind of yell to Talmud, "Hold on!" That is going to hit, and I'm going to burn those 5 dice that we were just so generously gifted to super crit this mother. So that is going to be 112 124.
124 total.
And it is knocked prone, which means it falls.
Okay. So using your earlier math, that means it has 231 feet to fall.
No. That was the diagonal. It was whatever.
It's in motion, so it's not going to fall straight down.
Oh, okay. Well, that's on you.
It's flying at max speed, and you basically knocked its ability to fly away, so it's gonna crash land. Man, what is that? That's 20d6, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 200.
It's actually more than that, but
200 feet of fall caps it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, here we go. D&D Beyond roller. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, it's 19, 20 d6.
Yikes.
This is applying to the dragon, Talmud, and Thorgarn.
Yeah, take that, Thorgarn.
No, not Thorgarn.
I was not going to correct him.
Hey, you know what?
Why is it? It's Thorgarn that I keep catching in this all the time.
I mean, Jake, I know I'm awesome.
Ted,
Now,
I just love you
roll
so much. I want you to be at the center of everything.
I mean, I
Oh
probably
my
have
gosh.
the right round does right now, so I'll take it for him.
You all watch as something happens up in. There's another explosion of energy. The dragon is careening down towards the ground. I'm gonna say that it's about a total of about 400 feet to the northeast away from everybody. Let me do this math here. You all come, the three of you come crashing down, and there's just this.
All right, so
Talmud and drown.
One quick interjection.
Yes.
I have a bonus action. I still have far step up. Can I use the bonus action to teleport to the ground before we hit?
Yeah, there's enough time, I think, and it's a bonus action. I think you would be able to do that.
Awesome. I will do that.
Talmud, you are suddenly alone, holding on to this dragon. As the words that Drown just said to you moments ago was, "We're going down," and just that, "We're going down, we're going down," and suddenly he's gone. Talmud, you and Belak the Malevolent will take 73 points of bludgeoning damage. Fortunately, you are raging, so that will become 37 points of bludgeoning damage.
All right, and as a reaction, the tentacle that I left sticking out of the Chardolin plates will wrap around Talmud and reduce some of the falling damage he takes.
Okay.
Cut 14 off that.
All right, 37, that's 23 points of bludgeoning damage.
All right, thank you.
And for the second time since being in Icewind Dale, you have ridden a dragon to the ground.
Like a
Talmud,
damn comet.
you can't help but notice Belak the Malevolent is still moving.
Oh, I thought you were going to talk about how we just crashed into water. Because that's going to suck a lot for Talmud.
Actually, I kind of forgot about that. Thank you for reminding me that you're above the ice. I think the way this plays out is as you kind of come skidding to a halt, and you realize, just this sort of, you're okay. There's suddenly and a big splash of ice as the dragon and you just break through the surface of the red water and are now in the water. Baron is going to Baron's going to start sprinting that way, but I mean, he may be a champion, but he's running with Chariots of Fire music playing as he runs through the snow. but it's going to take a while for him. Let's see, it would take like 5 or 6 rounds for him to. Basically, it's going to take, short of magical teleportation or flight. It's going to take most people about 5 rounds to get to where the dragon is. Rollo, what would you do?
How far away am I? 400 something feet?
Yeah, and you're about 30 feet in the air, and you just saw somewhere in the distance as the dragon crashed into the ground. I think you're far enough away you wouldn't be able to tell for sure that it crashed into the lake.
Professor! And the owlbear will begin to across the ice. I assume that it's thick enough. We've been up here long enough to know if the ice is thick enough.
Bold of you to assume.
I know, yeah. I should have asked this beforehand.
Hey, well, so here we go. As a welcome to Mini Terrain Domain, I'm going to roll a D100.
Okay.
I'm going to say there's a 50% chance that the ice is not thick enough. I'm going to roll a D100. That's going to be the baseline. You need to roll within 25 on either side of...
A 77.
77 is 39 points away. As the professor takes off across the ice begins to crack under his feet. And he needs to make you need to make a dexterity saving throw for her.
Okay.
Her, not him.
Yes, she.
For her.
That's a 19.
Her hind legs sort of burst through the ice, and she scrambles quickly and is able to scramble to the surface of the ice, get off the ice and to the bank, as the ice is not thick enough for the owlbear.
It's okay, I got this. And Rolo's going to fly her full movement, so she'll fly 30 feet, and then she's going to cast Misty Step to get an additional 30 feet.
Okay.
And she's going to use her that's her action. Actually, no, she won't, because it's just 30 feet. She'll just keep flying. So she's going to fly 60 feet.
Okay.
I was thinking...
yeah, it's still going to take you roughly 5 rounds to get to...
Yeah. She's just going to keep flying. It's okay. I go check on them. I follow Lady Dragon.
The dragon is going to... I'm going to make it make an athletics check to see if it can get out of the water. Rolling with a +9, that is a 21. As Talmud, you are being churned in this icy water as the dragon all around you, and you can see you hear the hissing of the molten metal that's spewing out of its wound.
2 dice to reroll.
That's what they're for. I will re-roll that using the same online dice that I used. That's bizarre. That actually would have been higher. I rolled on Baron's stats, not on the dragons. Let's try that again. That is going to be a 16, and I had set the DC at 18, so it does not succeed in getting out of the water. There we go. That's what I was looking for. Okay. So it is stuck in the water, and is going to take attacks at disadvantage against you, Talmud. Since it's attacking blindly as it's in the water.
To be fair, I attacked it last time with reckless attacks.
Okay, so that will balance it out. Thank you.
Yeah.
You couldn't attack, remember? That
Yeah,
was
you
it.
were-
That was it.
you
That
were-
was
Yeah,
it.
you couldn't attack.
You're right.
You couldn't attack, so it will be at disadvantage. It is going to with its claws. Okay, so it is going to attempt to strike you with its claws, and that's going to be dirty 20 on the first hit. That is going to be a 17 on the second. Does that hit you?
Yes, that one as well.
And then it's also going to attempt to strike you with its tail, and that is going to be a 26 to hit. So you are going to take... I'm going to total it all up, and then we'll cut it in half, because they're all slashing and bludgeoning. So 16 from the first claw, 16 from the second claw, so 32, and then the tail does 25, so that's 57. You're gonna take my math is failing me. What is that? 28 points of damage. As you're caught in the scramble as this thing is trying to get out of the water. I also need you to make a wisdom saving throw. Being this close to it, you are affected by the malevolence of the Chatelaine.
Aren't we immune if we shake it off?
Yes, you are.
Yes,
Never
please.
mind. Thank you. You are immune for 24 hours because you shook it off. Thanks to Taylor
thank
Swift.
God.
You are good.
Thank you,
Oh, yeah,
thank you,
because
Jesus.
Drown was 100% on this dragon's mind. So that is the dragon's turn. It could not get out of the water. Thorgarn, your attempts to revive the headless body of Fig, you realize that it's just not working. You see the pieces, and you see in front of you now, because of where you've positioned yourself, you see this blue sapphire and this red ruby, and you see all the diamonds laying next to it, the hat nearby. And for a moment, you swear you hear a voice in your mind. Thorgarn. Help. It's Fig's voice.
So, I guess shakingly, he's gonna begin picking up the hat and all of the gems. While doing so, like, he doesn't really have a whole lot of experience with telekinetic voices or any of that kind of telepathy or any of that stuff. So he's gonna concentrate.
It's throwing your voice, Jeremy. A telekinetic voice. It's ventriloquism.
Oh, yeah.
So he's gonna try and, wherever he thinks this voice might be coming from, kind of like mentally think in that direction and just make sure he gets every single one of these gems, and then slowly start picking up the body as well.
Thorgarn, make an insight check.
Oh, these I'm good at. 22.
You remember when you first met the Dawnbringers and you first met Fig, and even in those first forays as a group into Kundrakar, when you were trying to take it back, on more than one occasion, Fig collapsed into a smaller, more compact shape. And as you're looking at how you're going to collect Fig's body, you just almost maybe even inspired by this voice in your head, as you swear you hear Fig say, "My body, please." You know how to reconfigure Fig. You know how to manipulate the arms and legs. It's like working a transformer. As you just you're able to reconfigure Fig into a smaller cube-like shape. You sense that there's a little bit of magical energy that's involved. Remembering, of course, that Fig's body, Fig swapped out for the body of Copernicus. And this does reconfigure into a smaller size. It does not reconfigure into a cube, though. This reconfigures into a sphere. And it looks like it's just small enough to fit into the opening of the hat of holding.
I will put the hat on my head and I will carry the sphere for now.
And you swear you hear the voice in your head just say, "Thank the gods you worship for DM Fiat." You are able to successfully gather Fig's body and all of the gemstones that make up Fig and Archimedes' gemstones. You have all of those pieces collected into the hat of holding. Talmud, you are drowning, potentially. What would you like to do?
All right. So, as a player, I understand that this is probably not the best idea. However, Talmud's understanding of water is not exactly...
Oh, yeah, I totally forgot. Talmud hates water.
So, as panic begins to set in, realizing that he's gone literally from the frying pan into the, well, not fire, but you know what I mean. He very quickly scrambles about his person and pulls out a stone potion vial and is going to bite the cork or the seal off the end of it and drink this potion that he has carried for a long time. And he turns into a giant shark.
That I remember when you got that, when you went on that side quest with Irie the Sea Elf.
Yep.
When Kelly was with us. Yep. You've had that for a long time.
For a long
well,
time.
As you know, in my games, it is a bonus action to quaff a potion.
Excellent. Okay, so I know this is freshwater and sharks are saltwater, so is that going to be an issue?
I am not good. This is D&D.
Okay.
This is D&D. You turn into a freshwater shark.
Perfect. All right.
You turn into a bull shark. They don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Excellent.
You turn into what is that one? I just saw a video on it. It's the big giant one that's with the mouth that just eats plankton.
Whale shark.
The whaling?
No, anyway, you're good. You're good. You turn into a shark.
Love it.
No,
Okay.
bull sharks are super aggressive and will just swim up freshwater rivers. They are...
Wait a minute.
Sounds like
Are
a
we about to have a
That's
shark
sort of
versus
like a
dragon
Jaws.
sci-fi channel episode?
Oh yeah, this is 100% sci-fi
It's
channel
Shark
now.
Week.
Stop! I can make
bitches.
this happen. Give me a minute. I can run downstairs and get my shark mini, and then I can
The
hit
title,
Charlotte
in
mini.
one word, the title of this movie is Sharktolin.
No.
We need fan art of that. Shark versus Shartlin Dragon, and it's just Sharktolin.
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 Oh, yes. Good.
I love it.
Sharktolin.
Make it so.
Okay. So, I have never transformed as a barbarian before. Is my rage still going on?
Is it polymorph, basically?
Yeah, it says polymorphs you into.
Yeah, it is a
an
polymorph.
animal.
All right, so your character sheet is replaced by the giant
Okay.
shark stats or whatever. So
Excellent. Okay, so
Does it say you turn into a shark or a giant shark?
giant shark?
Okay.
Was the potion that I wrote
Okay.
down.
Yep. Just making sure.
Okay.
Yep. So you
it
have
has
you
a single
have
attack.
full 126 hit points and all of those abilities now, but you are no longer raging.
Excellent. Okay. Then just the single bite. I have advantage on melee against any creature that doesn't have all of its hit points. So I'll take it.
Yeah, I'm going to allow the blood frenzy, even though it's a construct. It doesn't specify
Okay, sure.
otherwise.
That makes sense.
We'll say it's kind of a carryover of your rage into your shark form.
Okay. So
Shark
that is a
rage.
dirty 20 to hit. Shark rage.
Dirty 20 is a hit.
Good. All right. This is 3d10 plus 6. That's 10 and another 10. That's 26 points of piercing damage.
26. All right. You rip off a chunk of this Chardelin plating, and there's immediately a hissing sound underwater as this molten magma inside it just starts to cool instantly in the icy waters.
Does the water seem to be actually affecting it?
The dragon?
Yeah.
Not really. It just doesn't seem to be able to get out of it.
Okay. I didn't know if it's like, you described all of this molten metal inside and whatnot. I don't know if it, would cool down and not be able to move as well.
At this point, it's only been about 6 seconds, so
Sure.
no. All right, Cantriel. Swearing up a storm. By now, with your passive perception, you would notice Talmud. Damn it, Thorgarn.
No, you had it right.
No, I didn't have it
'cause I'm
right.
by you.
No, it's Thorgarn.
Oh, sorry.
You would know. No, Talmud's 400 feet away. Thorgarn, you would notice
To
is
be fair, she might have noticed.
right. What do your elf eyes see? A drowning dwarf? No, a
I
shark.
see everything. I
Uh,
see things.
you see
I see almost everything.
Thorgarn gathering up the gemstones, and you see as he's completing the reconfiguration of Fig's headless body. Thank you, Blue Collar DM, for that raid. That's going to earn you all another domain die. Welcome to the channel. Actually, again, because I know you've raided before, so welcome back.
So taking this all in, Cantriel, you said that Fig's had a holding was off to the side, right?
Thorgarn's holding it now and is sort of shoving these
Thorgarn's
parts in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. She'd come up behind Thorgarn and place a hand on his shoulder and just kind of give it a reassuring squeeze. You get everything we need of him. We're going to bring him back.
I heard his voice. He said help.
And we will. We absolutely will. It's what we do. Now, I have a giant, a dwarf, a dragon, another dragon, well, rather, it looks like a dragon, something else that's small and dragon-like, and a massive creature bounding around that I'm going to start pursuing and see what's going on. You can catch us up when you're ready.
Be there as soon as I can.
We'll talk about this. We'll make a plan. We're going to make this right.
I have faith.
As do I. And she'll actually misty step away from you. So she kind of blips out and then blips 30 feet away. And then she'll use the rest of her movement to keep getting closer to this opening in the ice and chaos.
Okay, yeah, and I think with that misty step, there's a point where just in your elven form, you come rushing past Baron, who's panting heavily, running at full speed, and you just come, and he just looks over as you are, elven sprinting past him. Drown. You're on the ground, not far away from where Talmud and the Chardelin dragon crashed in, and you're not sure what's going on. There's a lot of just splashing and thrashing around, but you're fairly certain you just saw a shark in the water attacking the dragon.
Excellent. Perfect. Is it cool to say that there's probably cracks just like all through all of this ice?
Oh, absolutely.
You know, this gigantic Chardelin dragon just plowed into it. All right.
Yeah.
So Drown will sort of draw himself up to his full height, grit his teeth, looking at the thrashing in the churning icy water, and shake his head and say, "You will never leave this place. This is mine," and stamps his foot on the ice and breaks it out from under him and drops into the water. And then is going to stretch his arms out, and all of his tentacle tattoos begin glowing green, and that glow is reflected in an Evert's Black Tentacle spell that erupts behind the dragon and starts binding it up in tentacles. I'll use my Grasping Tentacles feature of the Fathomless. Where is it? D&D Beyond, sometimes you make me sad, but it's great. Thank you. It's wonderful. There we are. Clicked. All right. So I have cast Evert's Black Tentacles. I gain 13 temporary hit points because the boss likes it when I let him reach into the world. And yeah, he is Evert's Black Tentacles. At his turn, he'll have to make a saving throw or be restrained and crushed by bludgeoningness.
I'm sorry, it was a what kind of spell? What kind of save? Dex?
Nothing. Yeah, it's a dexterity save at the start of his turn. So not yet.
At the start of his turn. Okay.
Yep.
Drown, as you do this, and you sort of stomp your foot, the ice breaks, you drop into the water. As your tentacle tattoos begin to come to life and begin writhing, and the tentacles are rising up, you sense the presence of the deep. It's been a while, quite a while, since you have been in water. You've had a faint sense of your patron through all of the snow, just through that very base connection to water. But now that you're fully submerged into the water, you feel the full power of your patron coursing through you, and you just feel and almost hear this. There he is. Baron, is there anything else you're going to do or can do?
Nope, that's it.
Okay.
That's it. That is concentration, so it ends my far step. So.
Okay, so you are, it goes next to Baron, who puts on a little burst of speed and tries catching Cantriel, but he's catching up to her, but you can tell he's putting his all into it as he's sprinting forward, and that's then going to take us to Rollo.
Okay, I am going to keep flying and flying.
Flying and what?
Flying.
Oh, just flying and flying.
Yes, that is my turn.
So another 60 feet.
Yes.
Somewhere ahead of you, Cantriel, you see the small form of that winged kobold rapidly flying, its wings beating furiously, kicking up small swirls of snow as it's just... I told Goblin Kitty last night, I get strong Bartok vibes when I picture this from Anastasia.
Then I kick him, sir.
It is now the dragon's turn. Is it at the end of its turn or start of its turn that it needs to make this save?
Start of its turn. Dexterity save, DC 21.
Oh, good lord. Just because I have to roll. Actually, I guess I didn't. It can't make that.
Delightful.
It has a +0 to Dex. So yeah, there's. I was hesitating. I'm like, what can I do? What can I do? I can't do anything.
It is wrapped in the living water tentacles and crushed.
Wait, this is a magical effect. Oh, it doesn't matter. Advantage isn't going to make me roll a 21 on a 20-sided die. Ignore me.
It will take 10 points of magical bludgeoning damage.
Okay, and it's restrained.
And it is restrained.
Okay.
Nowhere. You are going nowhere.
Let me check something. So while it's restrained, 0, no speed, attack rolls against it have advantage, and it has disadvantage. Okay, so it can still attack. How far away did you position yourself from it?
Me?
Yeah.
I just basically broke straight down through the ice. You said it was a little ways away.
Yeah, so you're quite a ways away from it. So it's going to attack the shark. That's immediately harrying it.
Shark.
Shark Dillon.
Raging shark.
Chartle chum.
It is going to attack the shark with a 26. Oh wait, its attacks are at disadvantage. Sorry, it's a 25 at disadvantage.
That beast armor class is going to be real hard to hit.
That's a little.
A 27 at disadvantage.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And a 14. So the tail attack is going to miss the shark.
No, I have a 13 armor class.
Oh, you have a 13 armor class. Okay, so the shark.
You don't have to say it like that.
The shark is going to take a 15 plus 19, so 34 plus. Oh wait, sorry, that's the wrong one. Plus 12 is 46 points of bludgeoning and slashing damage. And the shark needs to make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh, it's the same as Talmud's. That's fine. I'm literally as wise as a giant shark, apparently. That is a 13. Oh wait, is this still the charm thing?
Well,
or am I still immune?
You're the shark now, though.
Different?
The shark has.
He's still him, but his game statistics are replaced by the shark.
That's your call.
Yeah, I'm gonna roll with that. I'm gonna roll with that. Talmud's resistance to it carries through, so you're good.
Okay.
And because it's restrained, does it get a chance to break out of the restraint? That would be an action, wouldn't it?
I believe it has to take an action to do so.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, no, it's continuing to thrash as it attacked Talmud. Thorgarn, it is your turn. You are the only one left in the town of Dugan's Hole, in the immediate center of the destruction, and you've sort of managed to pack away all of Fig's parts into this hat. You hear Fig's voice. It's distant, but it's sort of like in the back of your mind. You hear, I don't know what happened. I can't see anything, Thorgarn. I can't feel anything either.
So I just think, we'll figure this out, and I pick up, Forge Fame, and I begin charging off. Speed of 40, so I can go 80 this round.
All right. So you take off. I just looked. Thanks to all of the awesomeness of the chat, we are at 91 subscribers now. We're just 9 away from 100 subscribers. Thank you, everybody, for all those domain dice, your subs and bits and everything have contributed to this. We greatly appreciate that. Talmud Shark.
Well, I have exactly one thing that I can do.
Well, there's another 5 domain dice with the meta subs. Goblin Katie sneaking in there.
I want to get us closer to the number.
Oh shoot, what were we at? I just accidentally.
130.
Okay, I wanted to make sure I counted this correctly.
We were at 130.
Okay.
175.
Okay.
I mean, I'm just guessing. I gotta still support the gang.
You're a part of it. You're already saying we. You are a part of it now.
Yeah, see? There you go.
All right, Talmud Shark.
So, the gnashing of the teeth and the biting in the teeth is going to be 25 to hit.
25 to hit. Is of course a hit.
Excellent.
Do attacks against it have advantage because of the being restrained? I think so. So
yes, but I have advantage on it anyways because of blood frenzy.
Oh, okay.
So yeah,
just making sure.
So I took advantage. I appreciate that. Thank you. I'm gonna use 5 domain dice for a super crit. Shark bite ooh-ha.
Okay, another super crit.
Okay, so 3d10 a roll, and then what's 12 and 36. That's 48.
You don't roll for anything.
Damage. Oh, okay.
Super crit is automatic
right.
double max damage.
It's just double max damage. Okay,
Yep.
cool. So then that's 72 points of piercing damage.
Wow. I legitimately started this session off thinking with mechanics for how this was going to work as the dragon moved from town to town. I legitimately thought it was going to leave Dugan's Hole.
That's adorable.
Talmud, you are shredding in your shark form. You're shredding pieces of this in a true blood frenzy. You're just grabbing onto chatelaine plates, and molten metal is spewing out of this thing, but it already instantly cools into slag before it can even harm you. And you're too much in a frenzy, but Drown, not far away, seeing this happening, you see that those forge fires behind the grill of its mouth and behind its eyes are dimming. Cantriel, you're continuing to run. Are you doing anything to add additional speed to try to get there faster? Or are you just sprinting?
Just dashing through the snow.
Yes.
Yes!
Awesome. Well then, immediately following Cantriel is Drown.
All right, with all of his tattoos flaring and glowing along with his eyes, he'll start reaching out with his arms like he's striking and slashing, and his Eldritch Blast is going to take the form of the various tentacles in the spell being sort of empowered and lashing at this thing. So he'll take 3 strikes at it. That is going to be 3 hits.
Okay.
So it will take 15, 30, 40 points of force damage.
Drown.
Yes.
What does it look like when you defeat Belak the Malevolent under the water and below the ice?
So those shimmering green spectral tentacles start wrapping around its limbs and its wings and its neck, and when all of the dragon's sort of body and limbs and extremities are all bound up in the spell, Drown is gritting his teeth such that you can hear them kind of grinding against each other. He pulls his fists together and then just rips his arm apart, and all of the tentacles pull in different directions.
As you do that, fragments of chatelaine are rended in every direction underwater. A few of them break the surface and skitter along the surface of the ice, where the magma that's attached to them quickly causes it to melt through and they sink to the bottom. There is a burst of light and energy as the magma interior of this construct is flash cooled in front of the shark. There's an instant almost what's that called, cavitation in the water, and the shark is sort of just pushed back, taking minimal bludgeoning damage from this. We'll just call it 10 points of bludgeoning as you're just sort of pushed back in your shark form. There is now, you see, Drown, with your ability to see so far and so clear, not only in darkness and magical darkness, but in water, which is as clear as seeing through air for you. You see this almost perverse Chardolin and molten metal, now flash frozen sculpture that is the interior of this Chardolin dragon as it solidifies and sinks to the bottom in a bizarre sculpture slash memorial to Belak the Malevolent.
Okay, that's cool as hell.
And I think that is where we are going to end the session. We're at just about 11:30. It was an epic end to the fight, and we'll pick up next week with the aftermath as everybody's sprinting up to see just what happened. Perfect time for Bardic Dice to rate us as we just ended. That does earn you another domain die. Plus, I know that Cole just subbed, bringing us up to 98 out of the 100 subs. One of these days I'll figure out what's going on and I can get the actual sub goal up. You guys, that was a friggin' awesome session. I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I did.
That was amazing, and that's
Okay.
probably one of the best character entrances I have ever seen.
You're here.
Oh, Katie, Goblin Katie, pushing us over the 100. And the secret motivation, the meta motivation to get it back, that super crit again. You guys start, actually, I think for the first time in a long time, I think
That's what we just beat.
you've ended a session with more domain dice than you started with, having burned. You guys burned what, 3-4 super crits during this session?
4, I think.
Because you had
least,
Baron burn
yeah.
it, Drown burned at least 2,
Yeah.
Talmud burned
One.
1.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, we had a
Katie
few
Mel
in
did
there.
one as well.
So
I used
So
one too. Yeah.
5.
I just want to say, first off, this was absolutely epic. This was your second 1,000 hit point dragon. This was intended. I legitimately thought he could get away.
If we didn't put him in the lake,
If you didn't put him in the
if
lake,
we
he
didn't-
probably
if
would
we
have.
didn't put him in the lake, he'd have got away.
And I had planned on that. As he moved from town to town, there would be a small amount of healing. The idea was that you were going to have to chase him around, but from the get-go, once you knew what the plan was, you guys executed almost flawlessly. You've lost Fig, but not entirely. Because I did see a couple people were yelling at me in chat. This was, of course, a DM fiat because M is not available and it was quite sudden. We couldn't plan it like before. M, trust me, I hope. And this will create some unique story stuff. I didn't know who was going to be the one to find Fig in the state that he was left in, and it's Thorgarn. So that's going to create some interesting story moving forward. And I would never just outright kill a character like that while the player was gone. But I legitimately had a blast with this session. It was so awesome, Goblin Katie, to have you join us in an epic fashion, holding off. She and I discussed exactly how we were gonna play this out, and I left a lot of it in her court, that she would roll initiative, and on her terms she would enter the fray. So we have now met Rolo, the Kobold Evocation, the winged Kobold Evocation Wizard, who's 1 feet 10 inches tall and has a snowy owlbear named
Professor Alfred.
Professor Alfred.
So
I absolutely love that. I didn't know what the name was until you all heard it too.
I've got to give a shout out to Dustin Fletcher. He's the one who thought of the name Alfred. So shout out to Dustin on that one.
So
I think we'll actually get to meet Rolo next time.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll actually get introductions in the next session. So it's absolutely awesome, Goblin Katie, that you, I mean, it sucks that we have to lose a player for the summer, but the other side of that coin is you get to join us for the summer. So roughly for 3 or 4 months, Goblin Katie is going to be joining us as Rolo. And I've even talked to her last night. Whenever eventually Em is able to join us again, I'm not just going to kick Goblin Katie out. We will have a little bit of overlap. But we're just going to see how things play out over the summer. And just play with this new companion to the Dawnbringers. I want to thank our chat tonight because so many new people are finding us out. I know some of you may have come from Jasper's Game Week. If you've discovered us because of Jasper's last week, just throw an emoji out or something, emote or something in the chat. I know we picked up a lot. We hit front page during Jasper's of suggested views for half of the week last week. So I know we got a whole bunch of new followers through that. For the first time, I think this is actually only the second time we've ever broken 100 subs within a month. In no small part, I almost said no spart because of you. No small part because of you, chat, and some of the players at the table doing the meta gifts, which is absolutely allowed. If you are new here, and this is your first time experiencing us on the Dawnbringers, welcome. This is our flagship campaign, our regular campaign. Right now, we only have 2 other shows that are happening on this channel. Last night was the latest session of, and I think there's only 3 more sessions left, 4 more sessions? 2 more sessions left. So every other Wednesday at 8:30 Eastern, Jeremy is running his Convergence campaign with some incredible role players. It's a tremendous game. I've had the honor of playing for over 2 years in one of Jeremy's homebrew campaigns, and I have played in half of this setting. It is a dual world setting, and I have gotten to play in half of it before. So please check out Convergence every other Wednesday for the next couple of Wednesdays, or over the next 4 Wednesdays. And next Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern, we are premiering right here on twitch.tv/mini-terrain domain, Scribes and Scrolls, the Candlekeep Mysteries. We are taking the latest release from D&D. Yeah, I can still say that. Von Richten's hasn't come out yet. The Candlekeep Mysteries, and we are running it as a campaign, and I have some amazing role players joining me at the table. D&D Jordan Lee, 1/3 of Mini Terrain Domain, will be playing Assyria, the half-elf ranger. Big Bearded Nerd, the other third of Mini Terrain Domain, will be playing Mizya, the drow wizard. Our good friend Carrie, who you've seen on both Mini Terrain Domain and on Big Bearded Nerd in our Call of Cthulhu games, and you've possibly heard as oh my gosh, I'm drawing a blank. Dan in Avernus. What's the the person on the cover, the fallen Zariel. Carrie is the voice of Zariel in the Sirenscape app. Carrie is an accomplished local voice actor. Has also appeared in Mass Effect Andromeda, as well as numerous other things.
Who in Andromeda?
I'll have to find out for you, Dan. I can't remember. There was an NPC, and then
I actually really liked Andromeda. So,
did another voice. I might be able to find it out after we're offline. So Carrie will be playing Tira, the human barbarian, and our friend Ricky. Let's see, I got Jordan. Oh, our friend Ricky will be playing Vorn, the half-orc fighter. And Gary from Fortnerd.com, also from the Sea of Thieves streams, will be joining us as Doc, a reborn artificer. And that kicks off a brand new level 1 campaign, an epic D&D campaign, next Monday. This one is at 8 p.m. We'll be running this one a half hour early, but this will be every Monday night. Of course, you can type !schedule in the chat. I encourage you, if you haven't already done so, please hit that follow button. You can also check out at D&D Jordan Lee and at Big Bearded Nerd, who are the other two parts of Mini Terrain Domain. As a whole, we are Mini Terrain Domain Presents. I represent Mini Terrain Domain itself, and they have their own channels as well. Mini Painting, Dead by Daylight is sort of the flagship gaming thing. You can also, of course, find Jordan and Goblin Katie on Sunday mornings running Classic Brunch. You know what? We haven't done this in a while. Just real quick, because so we can get out of here. Why don't we go around the table real quick and everybody just tell us where we can find you. When the VODs go up on YouTube, all of their social links can be found in the description. But Dan, where can we find you when you're not hanging out in the depths of the Red Waters?
Sure. I'm Dan Dillon. You can mostly find me on Twitter at Dan_Dillon_1. And yeah, I'm a game designer at Wizards of the Coast working on this awesome game right here. So
not every game gets to say that they have their own built-in legitimate rules lawyer. We are very fortunate in that respect. Usually when I'm typing in something to look up the rule, I'm also watching Dan's face to see if he's adjudicated before I get the thing typed in. Let's go with Ted next.
Hi, I'm Ted from Nerdarchy. You can find us anywhere you might find Nerdarchy. We've got the regular channel, we've got the live channel, we've got nerdarchy.com. We're on some of the social medias, not all of them. And then, I'll throw this out before Jeremy can. If you come over to Erasmus Expedition this coming Wednesday night, you're going to be able to find me over there. So definitely looking forward to that game. But search Nerdarchy, you'll find us. You'll find me.
Not to mention the fact that once a month you can find V and I hanging out with Ted in the Dungeon Master's seat in our untraditionally arcane all wizards game, which is just a wonderful game. We play with Robin, Asa, and Fragonator.
Indeed, great game. Looking forward to next game, which I think we're talking about is the 30th this month. So fun.
Excellent. And then oh geez, I just about knocked over and then half a cup of wine. I mean half a cup of grape juice. Jeremy.
Hello, everybody. My name is Jeremy. I have a YouTube channel called the Erasmus Expeditions. It is spelled Erasmas. A friend of mine told me that I needed to clarify that because she had a very difficult time finding it. I run a lot of live plays. I run a couple of campaigns and have a series where I have guests on to discuss RPGs called Help Action. Go check it out if you like that kind of stuff. I would love to have you. And like Jake said, every other Wednesday I run a campaign here for the time being on MTD called Convergence. That's soon to be wrapping up. It's been a lot of fun so far. And then of course, obviously every week you can find me here on Thursday nights playing Talmud or Thorgarn, depending on who you ask. I love this game so much. So thank you very much for having me on. If you want to try to find me on social media, I think on Twitter it's Erasmus14, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know why the 14's on there, but there you go. Yeah, that's about it.
All right. V. Let's go with V. We'll save Goblin Kitty for last.
Okay. Hi everyone, I'm V Muse. You can find me on most of my socials as V Muse and at my Twitch and YouTube as The Crafting Muse. You obviously find me here every Thursday for Dawnbringers, every Wednesday over on WizKids for Mini Mayhem, where I basically show off new miniatures, how to paint miniatures and things like that. And then once a month, we're going to be doing paint parties. We just had our first paint party on Friday, painting a red slutty laddie. And it was so much fun.
I'm sorry, say that a little slower.
It was so good.
Because
slutty laddie.
Because I heard slutty luddy.
Laddies.
See, that's a very different thing. I will
now
say
I have
It is a
slutty
very different
slatties in my head. Thank you.
That's a whole different string.
and of course, I have every intention of watching the VOD as I paint my slot.
Oh, there you go. There you go. And yeah, keep your eyes open for an announcement about something that might be happening Tuesday evenings where I might be getting back behind the DM screen. So I'm going to leave it at that one.
Yeah, you've been
soon.
you've been dropping tiny little hints here and there.
Tiny little hints. We're about 2 weeks away from it happening. So
Fantastic.
yeah.
And you can often find myself and Big Bearded Nerd painting many of the wonderful and showcasing. In fact, we're going to very soon be showcasing some of the newest Wave 14, I believe it is, unpainted minis from WizKids. I'm currently working on, I missed it, but I think today you showcased the Sky Coach, yeah?
Yesterday, Sky
Coach.
Yes.
I'm actually painting that right now, and soon
Cool.
I will have a painted version of the Sky Coach to show everybody.
Nice.
And Dwight and I often are painting many of the WizKids are some of our definitely mine. Dwight paints a lot of Games Workshop or Warhammer, so I guess Games Workshop, whatever else, but also a lot of WizKids stuff. And Dwight is a much better painter than I am. His detail is just phenomenal. I'm just always impressed watching what he does with that. So finally, Goblin Katie, where can we find you when you're not debuting as a tiny kobold here?
You can find me on all the socials at Goblin Katie. On Mondays at 7 p.m., I am on twitch.tv/Goblin Katie playing Minecraft Mondays with a variety of wonderful folks. Let me run through the week. Thursdays, I'm here. Sunday mornings, I will be playing Classic Brunch, which is Classic World of Warcraft, with D&D Jordan Lee and a fellow we know as Bacon Daddy. And that's every Sunday morning at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then Sunday evenings at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on twitch.tv/RockPunchATL or twitch.tv/D&D. You can catch me on the D4 stream. It's a 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons stream, and we have an amazing time. It's super fun. We just left the city of Waterdeep, and we're off on a grand adventure. So it's good stuff.
Amazing. And we are now lucky enough to have you with us all summer long.
Pretty sure I'm the lucky one, but okay.
So once again, I want to say a huge thank you to everybody in the chat. I love seeing so many people hanging out, having conversations, participating. Tonight, all of your bits, your subs, everything were amazing. They support the Dawnbringers with domain dice and help to keep the lights on here at Mini Terrain Domain, and we greatly appreciate that more than you can ever know. And if you're one of the silent lurkers, that's okay. We appreciate you. You don't ever have to speak up. If you just want to quietly watch in the background, that's fine by us. We hope you enjoy the show and continue enjoying what we're doing here. And finally, as always, I want to say a huge thank you to my players, Dan, Katie, Ted, V, and Jeremy, without whom it would just be me talking to myself for 3 hours. And with that, we are going to go ahead and end the stream the same way we end every stream. And you can say it with me if you want.
Barbarian shout.